Maybe you're not weak. Maybe you're just buried beneath thoughts that never stop, expectations that never end, voices that aren't yours, but speak like they are, the voice that demands, the one that compares, the one that says, no matter how much you do, it's never enough. The world praises those who push forward as if nothing hurts, but no one talks about the cost, about the mind that can't find rest, about the body that sleeps but never shuts off. What if your strength is already there, but muffled by excess? Too much urgency, too many goals, too much noise. They taught you that being strong means resisting everything, but resisting too long can disconnect you from yourself, because when the mind grows quiet, the chaos loses power. The masks fall and what remains is you, raw, bare, real, but whole. You don't have to prove anything right now. Just breathe and listen, because maybe the fortress you've been looking for is not built with bricks of effort, but with the silence that remains when the world stops screaming inside you. There's a kind of exhaustion that doesn't show up in tests, a kind of pain that doesn't translate into words, but it lives there, deep inside your silences. You wake up already feeling the weight. The body gets up, but the mind stays curled in a knot of restless thoughts. Notifications, messages, promises you haven't kept. Everything demands your attention. Everything feels urgent. Except you. You go through the motions. You respond, you try, you deliver. But it feels like you're always one step behind. Like you've lost the manual to your own life. The world is quiet, but your head is spinning. You try to relax, but even rest has become a demand. Rest well. Be productive. Make good use of your downtime. And then comes the guilt. For not doing enough. For not being where you think you should be. For feeling everything so deeply. The mind won't stop. And inside, there's a war. Silent. Invisible. But relentless. You pressure yourself. You compare. You push, and you don't even realize you're at war with what you feel, with who you are. This noise isn't made of sound. It's made of thoughts, of ghosts that learn to speak in your voice. They whisper, "You're late. You're not enough. You can't stop now." But what if you actually listened? What if instead of running you simply paused? The chaos might get louder at first. You might feel fear. But sometimes, fear is just your body adjusting to a silence it's never known. No one sees it, but you feel it. The enemy isn't out there. It's inside, whispering in your own voice. It's subtle. It doesn't shout. It creeps in, like a fog that settles quietly. It's that constant sense that no matter what you do, it's never quite enough. It's the fear of starting, frozen by perfectionism. It's the shame of pausing, as if rest were a hidden sin. You're always demanding more from yourself. And when you're not demanding, you feel guilty for that too. This enemy has no face, no name, but it's always there, in the not now, in the I'm not ready, in the I can't mess this up. It wears the mask of responsibility, but underneath, it's fear. Fear of being judged, fear of not measuring up, fear of trying, and losing yourself in the process. It's like walking through a minefield of thoughts. Every step needs validation. Every decision feels wrong, and even when things go well, something inside refuses to trust it. You look in the mirror and only see what's missing, never what you've built, never what you've survived to get here, and it hurts. because some part of you knows you deserve peace. But another part is still locked in armor. The same armor that once protected you, but now keeps you from breathing. You're not lost. You're just tired of fighting yourself. You've simply forgotten what it feels like to live without fear of being who you are. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to put the weapons down. And then, in a rare moment of quiet, something shifts. It's not euphoria, not relief. It's something else. A pause, as if the world for just 1 second held its breath, as if your mind, so used to shouting, suddenly decided to listen. In that fragile, fleeting space you feel, without filters, without noise. At first, it's strange. Silence can be scarier than chaos, because in it, you meet yourself, and you hear. The thoughts are still there, but they've lost their power. They float. They pass. And for the first time, you don't cling to any of them. There, between one thought and the next, is a void. But it's not absence. It's pure presence. It's the moment you realize you are not your mind. You are the one who observes, who feels, who chooses. Silence becomes a mirror. And in the reflection, you see yourself without masks, without deadlines, without the need to prove anything. This is where truth lives. Your truth. The one that doesn't need defending, only feeling. And maybe, in that moment, you understand. The strength you've been. Chasing doesn't need to be built. It was always there, buried beneath the noise. Silencing is like digging, and what you find beneath it all is you. Whole, simple, present. Silence isn't hiding, it's finding. They taught you discipline means rigidity. That focus requires effort. That presence equals productivity. But there's a kind of discipline that's invisible. A kind of strength that doesn't shout, doesn't perform, doesn't demand. It shows up when you choose not to react, when you refuse to feed the thought that sabotages you. It's easy to be strong in action, harder to be steady in stillness, because true mastery begins in the pause between impulse and response. Mastery over yourself, over the need to please, over the rush to finish, over the craving to be seen, approved, applauded. The discipline of silence is brutally gentle. It invites you to listen before speaking, to feel before deciding, to realize that not everything calling your name deserves your attention. You won't find this discipline on your to-do list, but it changes everything. Because a mind that has learned to be quiet doesn't get lost in the noise of the world. And that is freedom. Being able to sit with yourself without running away. Being able to breathe through the chaos without drowning. Being able to choose what truly matters and let the rest fall away. You don't need to do more. You just need to do it with clarity. And clarity doesn't come from effort. It comes from silence. You've spent so long trying to be strong that you forgot what makes you you. You tried to carry it all, wore every burden with pride, silenced your pain just to appear unshaken. But now, you see it. True strength isn't about holding more. It's about choosing what's worth holding. When the mind grows quiet, fear loses its echo. Chaos loses its grip. And what once broke you can no longer reach you. You don't have to fight every day. You don't have to explain yourself constantly. Sometimes, all you need is to listen. Breathe. Notice. Respond with presence, not urgency. That's where the invisible fortress rises, built from awareness, from intention, from peace. If the world keeps screaming, let it. You've learned how not to shatter inside. Because now you know, when the mind is still, nothing, absolutely nothing, can shake you. If this touched something inside you, maybe it's time to listen to yourself with more kindness. Subscribe to continue this quiet conversation with your own mind.